Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Nobody's ever stolen my stuff before.
Well, I didn't feel I was really stealing it.
How not? When it's wet. When it's wet. How are you not stealing someone's rug when they're wet?
A woman missing her laundry finds someone taking it on the laundromat security camera. She contacted our whistleblower hotline so others can be more aware of thefts like this. But as Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz finds, this story bubbles into something bigger.
She has a lot of nerve. Like, I just can't imagine having to steal someone else's rugs.
Eileen Johnson says nearly $300 worth of rugs were stolen from this laundromat at the end of April. Johnson says she left her laundry for about 2 hours when an appointment ran late. A worker showed her this security camera footage of the rugs being taken.
I watch a lady take the rugs out, set them on top of the washer, which is fine, that's normal, and then brings a bag in and folds up my $300 worth of rugs and putting them in a bag and taking them.
Later in the day, the laundry owner told me that customer on the video was there doing laundry. Carol Glass says she took the rugs, but only because she thought they were abandoned.
I thought, well, nobody's going to come and get those rugs, and I thought, well, I'll take them because I know the FM Animal Hospital is always looking for rugs for their pound dogs. I don't know how long they were here, to tell the truth.
Well, you know that you took them out of the laundry, so you know it was only a matter of a couple hours. Johnson came back to confront her.
You took somebody's stuff that is not yours.
I grant you, I did take somebody's stuff that wasn't mine, but there's so much stuff that gets thrown and left.
But is that maybe the people that own the laundromat thing, and that they throw it, not the customers?
Well, I suppose it should be.
The laundromat owner says he believes it was all a mistake and encourages customers to keep an eye on belongings.
We actually have a service that if you have something you want washed and cleaned and you just don't have the time for it, we can do it for you.
The Moorhead PD telling me they're not filing charges. They're chalking it up to a misunderstanding. But Johnson feels differently.
If they were to be donated to the dog shelter like she said she was going to, then they should have been there by now, because this happened about 10 days ago at least.
But the rugs, as Glass tells us, are still at her home in Borup. In Moorhead, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Carol Glass is supposed to drop those rugs off later tonight. We will follow up and make sure they're returned to Eileen Johnson. Johnson adds she loves the laundromat and plans to continue to go there. As mentioned, this story was brought to our attention through our whistleblower hotline. So if you need us to look into an issue, call us at 237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The memorial placed outside the home of a murder-suicide that left 3 siblings from Grand Forks dead continues to grow. Members of the community are dropping off loads of stuffed animals, balloons, and kind messages. Many are still recovering from the tragic loss. Police say the kids were murdered by their mother last week before she took her own life. Funeral services are set for the 3 Talmadge children. They'll be held at 3 p.m. Friday at Hope Covenant Church in Grand Forks. That's the place where the kids had Bible study. Visitation is 1 hour prior to the service. Investigators say evidence shows Astra Volk shot her 3 children before killing herself. Funeral arrangements for her are being made separate from the children's. Cooler today, but we received some much-needed rain. Some areas, though, could use a lot more. Robert, more rain on the way?
Yeah, more rain and even some thunder as we head through the evening hours and into tonight. Quite a range in temperatures, fall-like across northern Minnesota with some clouds and some rain there. Mid-40s in Roseau and Baudette. We've got some 50s, 60s, and 70s out there, near 80 down into the Sisseton area. Also some southerly winds down in southern portions of the valley. Elsewhere, some east and northeast winds. Quite a bit of cloud cover across the north and some storms blossoming well off towards the south. Here in Fargo, we have seen a little bit of shower activity, steadier rain to the northeast of Fargo, and a few thunderstorms popping off towards the south. One severe storm just southeast of Aberdeen that will continue to drift off toward the east. Here in Fargo, we'll have that chance for some sprinkles and some showers through this evening, and temperatures will continue to slowly drop on off through the upper 50s through the 9 o'clock hour. Maybe some thunder here in Fargo later on this evening. We'll take another radar tour coming up here in just a little bit, and we'll take a sneak peek at the Mother's Day weekend forecast. All that coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, see you soon, Robert. Thank you. A tow truck driver has been cited after he crashed into a car on I-94 in the metro, causing major backups during the morning commute. Around 8 this morning near the 25th Street exit, 24-year-old Nathan Ron of Gray Eagle, Minnesota, was following the car in front of him too closely. 46-year-old Stephanie Bengson of Moorhead was also heading west when she slowed down with traffic. That's when authorities say the tow truck rear-ended her. Both the drivers had minor injuries but refused medical treatment. A high-risk sex offender has moved again in Bemidji. 28-year-old Tadashi Anderson now lives in the 600 block of 4th Street Northwest in Bemidji. Anderson is convicted of having sex with a teenage girl multiple times, having sexual contact with young boys, and viewing child pornography. High-risk or level 3 offenders are the most likely to recommit a disturbing crime. The Bismarck Police Department is warning people about a registered sex offender making unwanted advances to women in the area. Officers say 45-year-old Cavette Moore has approached women between the ages of 60 and 70 in restaurants with handwritten notes containing messages about their appearance. Police say these notes often include his phone number. Authorities say Moore is not wanted in any criminal action, and they simply wanted to make people aware. A former Roman Catholic priest has been sentenced to 10 years of probation after pleading guilty to illegal sexual contact with a Mendota Heights woman during a private mass. The St. Paul Pioneer Press reports that 35-year-old Jacob Bertrand pleaded guilty in January to 1 count of third-degree criminal sexual conduct. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors dismissed a 2nd count of criminal sexual conduct. Bertrand was sentenced Monday. If he violates any conditions of his probation, he could be sent to prison for 4 years. President Donald Trump is pulling the United States out of the Iran nuclear deal. The president made the announcement today from the diplomatic room at the White House. Even as a private citizen, Trump criticized the agreement, saying then President Obama had given up too much for too little in return. The deal, known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, called for Iran to stop its pursuit of nuclear weapons and to allow international checks on its facilities. In return, the U.S. and its partners, Britain, France, Germany, Russia, and China, agreed to roll back crippling economic sanctions against Iran. President Trump says the Iran deal is defective at its core.
Today's action sends a critical message. The United States no longer makes empty threats. When I make promises, I keep them. In fact, at this very moment, Secretary Pompeo is on his way to North Korea in preparation for my upcoming meeting with Kim Jong-un.
Iran's president says his foreign ministry will continue talks with the remaining countries in the deal. Here's a heads up on construction that could impact your commute starting Wednesday. Here's what's happening. 13th Avenue South between 45th Street South in Fargo to 12th Street East in West Fargo. Traffic on 13th Avenue will switch to side-by-side Wednesday on the north side of the roadway so that crews can work on the south side. You'll notice some intersections are temporarily closed on the south side of 13th Avenue. Work on the south side alone will take 2 to 3 months. This is phase 2 of the 13th Avenue Road Reconstruction Project. One sandwich shop is asking you to grab a sub and help make a difference in a child's life. Today, Herbert and Gerbert's will donate $1 from every sub sold to the Children's Miracle Network. This is the 11th year of the Great Sub Support event, with more than $23,000 raised since 2008. Overnight, 51 families had children getting treatment from the Children's Hospital and support from CMN. The Herbert and Gerbert's shops in Fargo, Moorhead, Bismarck, and Grand Forks are all taking part in the event until the close of business tonight. While international music icon Prince loved Minnesota, even he needed to escape the cold once in a while. Now his beautiful estate on the Caribbean island territory of Turks and Caicos, purple driveway and all, is going up for auction this summer. According to the company managing the auction, the property totals 5 acres to create a secluded peninsula on a small island. It includes more than 10,000 square feet of living space, 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 2 private beaches, a 200-foot dock, and a tennis court.